Welcome to our channel. Surely you still remember Crocodile Dundee, the movie that took the 80s by storm, with exciting action scenes and unforgettable humorous situations. So after nearly 40 years, how have the actors in the movie changed? Let's take a look back at the legendary cast of Crocodile Dundee and discover how they are now, what has changed compared to their golden days on the screen. Follow along, there will definitely be many surprises. And Francine, born August 8, 1917, was a talented actress whose career spanned from Broadway to the big screen. Although she is best remembered for her role as Cleo in Crocodile Dundee, 1986, she had a long career before and after that film. By the time she was cast in Crocodile Dundee, she was in her 60s, but she still managed to pull off small roles with grace and grace. Cleo, though only a small moment in the film, became one of the most memorable scenes, contributing to the film's huge success. Before Crocodile Dundee, and worked tirelessly on Broadway and in television, most notably as Flora Simpson Riley in Harper Valley PTA. Her film career was also colorful, with supporting roles in films such as Snow White and Stand Up and Be Counted. After the 1980s and 1990s, and gradually withdrew from the spotlight, and in 1999, she died of a stroke at the age of 82. Although she is no longer alive, and Francine's legacy lives on in the hearts of audiences, especially those who loved Crocodile Dundee, and she remains an indispensable part of film and television history. Reginald VelJohnson, born August 16, 1952, is a famous American actor, best known for the film Crocodile Dundee, 1986. Although his role in this film was not the main one, it marked a turning point in Reginald's career, bringing him into the Hollywood limelight. After that success, VelJohnson became a familiar icon in many television and film series, especially in the role of Carl Winslow in the sitcom Family Matters, 1990 to 1998, where he became a kind and humorous father. Thanks to his natural acting style, he quickly won the hearts of the audience. Besides his acting career, Reginald also participated in many other projects such as voicing characters in animated films and television shows. In recent years, he has continued to appear in films, although he has appeared less often than in his peak period. However, he still maintains his appeal to those who love him through events and entertainment programs. At the age of 72, Reginald VelJohnson still maintains a happy career and life, always remembered for his humorous and warm roles. David Gulpilil, born July 1, 1953 in the Northern Territory, Australia, is one of the greats of Aboriginal cinema, opening the door for Aboriginal representation in the film industry. From the early days of his career, Gulpilil made a strong impression with his role in Walkabout, 1971, and then as Charlie in Crocodile Dundee, 1986, where he portrayed a proud and authentic Aboriginal person, bringing the film to life. In addition to being an actor, Gulpilil is also a multi-talented dancer, writer, and artist. He continued to prove his talent with works such as The Tracker and Charlie's Country, a role that won him the Best Actor award at the 2014 Cannes Film Festival. Outside of art, he was a passionate activist for Aboriginal rights and culture, despite personal struggles. Despite facing health issues, he always stood strong and continued to inspire the next generation. Gulpilil passed away on November 29, 2021 from lung cancer, but his legacy lives on in the hearts of his fans. From the screen to the living, Gulpilil left an indelible mark on Australian and global cinema. Paul Hogan, born October 8, 1939 in Sydney, Australia, is a film and comedy icon, best known for his role as Mick Dundee in the Crocodile Dundee film series. As the handsome and mischievous Australian bushranger, Hogan captured the hearts of fans when he first appeared in 1986. This blockbuster film not only launched him to international fame, but also opened the door for the sequels Crocodile Dundee 2, 1988, and Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles, 2001. Before becoming a movie star, Hogan won over Australian audiences through the comedy show The Paul Hogan Show, 1973 to 1984, where he demonstrated his unique acting and comedic talents. However, his career declined somewhat in the 90s, with films such as Almost an Angel, 1990, and Lightning Jack, 1994, failing to make the same impact as Crocodile Dundee. After ending his 23-year marriage to Linda Kozlowski in 2014, Hogan continued to live a low-key life. Now, at the age of 85, he rarely appears in public and splits his time between Australia and the United States. However, Mick Dundee's legacy remains strong and Paul Hogan is still loved as an integral part of Australian culture. Which of the actors we've just introduced do you like the most? Leave a comment below and let us know. And Carol was born on November 3, 1956, in Sydney, Australia. She is widely known for her role as Jill, Mick Dundee's seductive lover, in the iconic Australian film Crocodile Dundee, 1986. At the time of her participation in the film, Carol was only 30 years old and had a previous modeling career, which allowed her to easily portray elegance and charm on screen. Despite the film's huge success, Carol decided to retire from the film industry shortly after, a decision that surprised many. Instead of continuing to pursue a Hollywood career, she chose to live a private life, away from the glitz and glamour of the stage. Since then, Carol has only participated in a few small roles and made behind-the-scenes contributions, but has hardly appeared in public again. As of 2024, at the age of 67, and Carol lives a low-key life, no longer appearing in the media. The reason for her departure from the entertainment industry remains a mystery, and fans are still curious about this decision, while her short but memorable role in Crocodile Dundee remains an unforgettable part of Australian cinema. Linda Kozlowski, born January 7, 1958 in Fair Oaks, California, is an actress best known for her role as Sue Charlton in the Crocodile Dundee film series. Entering Hollywood in the mid-1980s, Linda immediately became a star with her role as a strong and independent American reporter who falls in love with Mick Dundee, played by Paul Hogan, in the first film released in 1986. This film brought her worldwide fame and launched her career to new heights. Linda continued to appear in the sequels in 1988 and 2001, along with several other films such as Almost an Angel, 1990, and Pass the Ammo, 1988, but did not achieve the same great success as Crocodile Dundee. However, after the 1990s, Linda's career slowed down and she gradually withdrew from the spotlight. In the early 2000s, she decided to give up acting to focus on her personal life, especially after her long marriage to Paul Hogan, which ended in 2014. Since then, Linda has lived a quiet life in the United States, rarely appearing in public. Despite this, she remains a favorite icon of Crocodile Dundee fans. As of 2024, Linda still retains the charm of a Star of the Year, although her current life is quite private and peaceful. John Mylan, born on May 1, 1934 in Paddington, New South Wales, Australia, is one of the most beloved and talented actors in Australian cinema. Although his career started out on a rocky note, Mylan quickly made a name for himself with notable works such as The Cars That Ate Paris, 1974, and Homicide. However, it was his role as Sam, Mick Dundee's loyal friend in Crocodile Dundee, 1986, that really made him an international star, especially with his charming and humorous performance that made audiences love him. After that hit film, Mylan continued to make his mark on fans with roles on the small screen and stage, but his health began to decline. Although he kept his personal life quite private, Mylan's career has always been highly regarded in the film community. He died of cirrhosis on August 11, 1989, aged just 55. However, Mylan lives on in the hearts of audiences for his role as Sam in Crocodile Dundee and his significant contributions to Australian cinema. In 2024, his legacy remains strong, a testament to the talent and grace he brought to the screen. Steve Ragman, born January 26, 1954, is an Australian professional wrestler and actor, best known for his role as Donk in the film Crocodile Dundee, 1986. With his muscular build and rugged style, Ragman quickly became the perfect choice for the role of MC Dundee's loyal and humorous friend. He also reprised the role in Crocodile Dundee 2, 1988, cementing his status as a beloved part of the franchise. Despite only having 25 roles in his film career, Ragman made a lasting impression on audiences through other films such as Turkey Shoot, 1982, and The Last Warhorse, 1981. However, it was his role as Donk in Crocodile Dundee that really cemented his status as an iconic figure in Australian cinema. In 2001, Ragman decided to leave acting behind and turn to running a gym before retiring completely in 2010. Since then, he has lived a quiet life and rarely appeared in public. Although he no longer acts, the role of Donk continues to maintain his legacy and keep Steve Ragman's name alive in the hearts of fans. Jerry Skilton, born March 12, 1945, is an Australian actor best known for his role as Jacko in Crocodile Dundee, 1986, a supporting role that left a lasting impression. Jacko is an integral part of a group of eccentric friends living in the Australian Outback, where Mick Dundee explores the mysteries of the world. Jerry was 41 when the film was released, and now, at 78, he is still remembered for the role. Following the success of Crocodile Dundee, Skilton continued to appear in Australian television series and miniseries such as Cyclone Tracy and Wrangler, demonstrating his versatility as an actor. However, the role of Jacko remains a strong mark in his career. In 2010, Skilton made a surprising comeback when he paid Paul Hogan $1 to reprise his role as Jacko in the documentary Mega Gets a Life, which explored the history of the Claremont gold miners. After his years in the spotlight, Skilton has chosen to live a private life, away from the public eye and without any scandal. However, he is still loved by fans and remembered as an integral part of the Crocodile Dundee legacy. So, after nearly 40 years, the cast of Crocodile Dundee still holds a special place in the hearts of fans, despite the changes in time. Each of them has their own path, but the mark of this legendary film has not faded. Surely what we see today is the result of a long, challenging, and successful journey. No matter how it changes, Crocodile Dundee will always be the memorable part of cinema history. If you find the stories surrounding the cast of Crocodile Dundee interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to update more interesting and exciting information.